Hey everybody, it's Sable. I'm here with my co-host.
Hey everybody, Fonzie over here.
All right, so today it's going to be a little bit short with us talking to you about what's going on in Vegas in upcoming events.
Yeah, today we're actually going to be talking about first amazing Las Vegas Comic Con. We're going to be giving another update and a couple of reminders for you guys who want to participate. Second off, we actually have our second interview for the show. This time is going to be a Las Vegas local comic book artist. So you guys, if you want to check that out, I'll mark down here the timestamp for that. So you guys can skip ahead on that and see who we're talking to. But after that, we're also going to be including another event that we were talking about last time for you guys who are looking to shop for your kids and young adults. So I hope you guys enjoy today.
All right. Fonzie, what's going on with Amazing Las Vegas Comic Con?
Amazing Las Vegas Comic Con. It's happening April 28th through the 30th. It's going to be 30 days from today, from the moment that we've posted this. And we already have the prices from their website. And it's going to be Friday and Sunday are going to be $25 each. Saturday is going to be $35 each. But if you want to get a 3-day pass, you can save a lot of money that way, and you can participate in all 3 days if you choose to, $60. So it's always great to have those kind of deals. I know that Deanna who's participating in gathering people for the Pokemon tournament, still looking for people. But if you're part of the TCG group, always more than welcome to contact Deanna. Contact information going to be in the description, and she's going to be keeping in contact with you, talking about when the tournament is going to be. There's going to be a Pokemon panel as well, and if you want to participate in that, you can also let her know.
I love Deanna. She is such an amazing person, and what they do and everything with the Las Vegas Avengers. That she truly is just one of a kind person.
Who she plays? She's Captain Marvel, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So she's
we were teasing each other because I was not a fan of that movie, and I teased her a little bit about being Captain Marvel. But in all honesty, though, I love her. She is such a nice person, and everything. And her husband is really nice, and they really do go above and beyond of helping other people. They're really truly the friends that you want.
Special shout out for Deanna Robinson and her husband Patrick Robinson. They're very nice people. Most definitely people who go above and beyond to help each other out, to help support the community, whether it's their nonprofit or through other means. They've tried. They assisted us on the Unicon for last year, and it was great working with them. I had no complaints working with them at all.
Oh no, none at all. They're really nice. Do we have any more information on who's going to be coming in to sign? Any more new guests for the event, or not yet?
I haven't seen any new guests lined up for it, but I'm keeping an eye out for any news that come up. As far as I know, though, they are still having their esports tournament.
Okay.
So remember, they're going to have that Mario Kart and the Super Smash Brothers tournaments. So they're going to be 2 games. I believe that there's 2 tournaments for each, if I got that correct. And the online ticket sales also, they have certain special bundles where you can actually include the ticket to participate in those events as well. So we'll post up their link to the tickets and their information down in the description as well. And like I stated before, it's something that you definitely want to check out.
Yes, it really is.
Next up is going to be our promised interview with our local Las Vegas comic book artist from New Wave Comics. His name is Patrick Robinson, and he's been doing these comic books for quite a bit of time. I'm definitely going to be posting all of his social media down below. You guys are more than welcome to look at all of his art, all of his work. He is a very talented comic book artist, and it was very interesting talking to him earlier today. So I hope you guys enjoy the interview with him. First and foremost, I want to welcome everybody who is tuning in to see this. I'm here with Patrick Robinson, New Wave Comics illustrator and artist for Command Garrison. Is that right?
Terran Command Garrison, but
Command
close
Garrison.
enough.
Okay, sorry. Terran Command Garrison. So before we talk about what you do, I wanted to start off with a little bit about yourself. Let's start off with what got you started in this to begin with.
It goes a ways back. So back in 1993, I just dropped out of mechanical engineering, and a friend of mine had given me a slip of paper from the art building that said, "Hey, we need comic book artists." And at that point, I thought I could draw, so I called the guy, met him at a Burger King, and we talked through characters and storylines. And he had a lot of characters and a lot of ideas, and he had investors at that point. And when he handed me the first script, to put it bluntly, it wasn't very good. So I asked him if I could rewrite it, and he handed it to me and, let me have at it. When he read it, he said it was as if I had lived in that universe my whole life, which was a good response, right? So we worked up the first issue. We added a few more artists and a few more of their titles. And this was 92, 93. And when we went to go publish, the investors vanished. So we never got to put these out. We got to advertise in the science fiction magazine at Washington University, but that's the only time we ever got to print anything.
Oh, wow.
So,
just wondering, a rug pull like that, how did it make you guys feel, as not just as expecting a payday out of this, but more importantly, seeing your work just slip away like that?
most of the rest of the company were students, so they were already occupied with taking classes and passing their finals and stuff. I had dropped out of school and was looking for work, so it was a little bit frustrating for me. I ended up moving away from that, and we kept in touch over the years, but never really did anything with the property after that. Some of the other members of New Wave have gone on to do their own other titles and other published works, but nothing with the company.
Okay. And currently, is this the only comic you're working on? Is this an ongoing series?
So the intent originally was for it to be an ongoing series. When 2018 hit, I got to thinking, hey, this would be the 25th anniversary if we had actually started in 93. Wouldn't it be goofy if I just created something for the 25th anniversary of something that never happened? And that's how issue 0 came out. It was a 10-page preview just to kind of get people's feet wet. And the response was amazing. People loved what they read and they were asking for more. So I got back in contact with the owner of New Wave Comics and said, hey, this is what I'd like to do. And he had additional ideas. What I'm working on right now, it's Terran Command Garrison, subtitled Jedi's War. And that is a 4-issue miniseries with a preview issue. Once that wraps up, he's got somebody lined up to start the title from the beginning, like way back in 1993, with young characters and original characters. And he apparently has 8 seasons worth of material to work with, kind of like a TV series.
Okay. Oh, that's good that they have all the same material, and it's the same owner then as 25 years, or now it'd be what, 28 years ago?
It's almost 30 now.
30. Ah, my math is all off, man.
It's all good.
But it's a great notion that he held on to the idea for so long, just for it to bear fruit this far along. It just shows
you hold on to that goal, to that dream, then eventually you figure out a way to make it happen.
Yeah, he didn't ever think he'd see it published, and we've made it happen so far. So
Well, that's good to hear. Now, you said that it was a 4-part miniseries, and is this a prologue to the actual series itself then?
it's not a prologue, it is a fast forward. So if the first issue had been published as intended, this miniseries would have taken place 15 years down the line from that.
Okay.
So
Oh,
it's set in a different time than the original series.
okay. That's pretty interesting. And what's one of your favorite characters that you've drawn up so far?
Honestly, I've gotten a little attached to all of them. Originally, when we put the whole team together, we drew up backstories and we drew up character sheets and all that. And to me, as an artist, I had to devote equal attention to each one, right? I couldn't play favorites with any particular character.
Right.
And same went for writing. So I didn't want to leave anybody in the corner because to us, they were all cool characters, right?
Now, and in doing this kind of work, what's more difficult, the writing or the drawing?
Writing's the easy part.
The story is the easy part for you?
Yeah. The only issue that I run into is I can write these great issues and amazing stories and amazing scenes, but can I actually draw what I write is the question. Good example was in the middle of the issue that I printed last year, the scene that I wrote involved a door opening up and 100 people throwing up all at the same time. Now, if you ask an artist to draw 100 people jammed in a room throwing up, it's going to take a very long time. And when I got to that page as I was drawing, I got to curse myself out.
See, and here I thought that Family Guy kind of had you beat on that one when you were talking about it with the whole Epicac thing, and here you're talking about 100 people.
Right.
Wow. How long did that one take you?
Oh man, that page probably took me 3 or 4 days just to ink and color.
Nonstop.
Nonstop. Yeah.
Wow. That takes some dedication, to be honest. Me personally, I can barely stand still. I'm constantly, in the middle of doing our show, in the middle of, I have my own, the warehouse that I work at, and on top of that, dealing with the kids. I can only imagine, being able to sit down and just 4 or 5 days of, just trying to get that right. I'd be cursing myself too.
Well, I tell you what, I am, very pale in comparison to a lot of my artist buddies. One guy in particular, his name is Raymond Leonard, friend of mine from Chicago, has published 3 or 4 different titles and multiple issues of each one. And he's very action oriented. His style is very 90s, action packed and dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
And he works nonstop. Me, I work 40 hours a week. I try to run toy swaps. I help with conventions, as you know.
Yeah.
Forcing myself to sit down and actually draw or actually ink or color or whatever has taken some effort. There's no way that the 3 issues that I've produced so far should have taken me 5 years. Shouldn't have. But they did, and all I can do is push on and finish the last 2. And then we're going to do a Kickstarter to release the entire series as a graphic novel.
Is the whole series going to be all in one book, or are you going to actually publish it in different series?
This is going to be a standalone. And if you read the miniseries, you understand that this takes place not only in a different timeline, but in a different universe from the original series.
I've picked up hints on that one about the different timelines. Now, when it comes down to the science, do you ever involve the science behind, what you were talking about, the different timelines? in this kind of series, because a lot of people have different takes on, how they explain the different timelines. I just wanted to know if you've had any thought into that.
So I'll be honest, as far as the timeline jumping went, it was something that happened randomly as I was writing the miniseries, and I didn't put a whole lot of thought into it. So where some people say if you met your alternate self in a different universe, you'd muck up the timeline or, whatever. I didn't take any of that into consideration. So I'm going full speed ahead. This is kind of like a popcorn movie, where you're just going to enjoy the action and where these characters are going. Damn the science,
Oh yeah, and it's even if this were to ever continue, I'm not necessarily sure if you just wanted to keep it as a miniseries. Would that be a thought, or in the future of the series, as to how to kind of connect the two, for your readers to understand how it went to a different timeline?
Yeah, we already have plans in place to tie everything together. When Clayton, who's the owner of New Wave Comics, Clayton James, brings his artist on and works him through the multiple seasons of the original series, there will come a point where they meet the characters in the miniseries. And you find out at that point that the characters in this miniseries have equals in the original series, but they're not the same people.
Okay.
Same
Well,
characters, different traits, different attitudes.
now,
And
is the world itself even different
yes,
compared to the main series?
yep. And as you read through the miniseries, you see glimpses of what Earth looks like in this particular universe.
Okay. Well, that's very interesting. Do you have a date of when you're thinking about publishing this, or is it still up in the air while you're still working on the last chapter?
The aim to complete the entire series is October or November this year. Either Vegas Valley Library Comic Book Festival or Silver State Collectibles Expo, one or the other, whenever those occur. And at that point, all 4 issues plus the preview issue should be available for pickup at that point.
Okay. I'll be sure to be the first one. Make sure that you get me your first edition. I'll pay for it. I don't care.
There you
Because
go.
I like these kind of series when they have alternate timelines, because it's interesting to always see a different aspect, especially when this comes out first, and then you get to see the main timeline. That's going to be very interesting for me to watch. But
So I have asked other artists in the community to help me describe the book to other people. And I was really struggling with how to give somebody a quick pitch of what the book's about. I can say alternate timelines, great, but Quantum Leap and Star Trek and all those other shows have already covered that, right?
right.
So what makes this book special? And Greg Boucher from Plot Twist said it the best. He said, just tell them that it's Space Dinosaurs meets Space G.I. Joe.
Okay. Oh, this is going to be very interesting then. And right now you have your art up in your Facebook. Is that correct?
Correct.
Do you have it on any other platform, or are you just focused on sharing it with your following on Facebook?
I do have an Instagram account for New Wave, and that is under New Wave Comics 1993. Just to kind of establish when we started, because there are other New Wave comics across the country, as we found out the hard way.
Oh, he didn't trademark it.
Nope.
Well, I guess it's a race to the finish then. In that case, we're gotta be the one that makes the major leagues then, right?
Right.
Now, is the plan to be the next Marvel, or the newest, bigger Marvel?
Honestly, if we can get all the titles that we've talked about released, we could be another Image or another Dark Horse or another Valiant, one of those independents.
Oh, that'd be very interesting to see. And you know, hopefully if it turns out great and we get to see it also in theaters, you know, that'd be great to be a part of that as well.
Hey, I'm aiming for Netflix, so that way my wife will actually watch it.
Netflix, right?
Right.
So aside from the comics, aside from your comic personally, um, you stated that you also help with some of the events that come through here, more so the conventions that we've had before. The last one that I remember you in with, because I participated with you, was the Power Play Sports Cards, Toys, and Collectibles.
Right.
And I just wanted to know your feedback. Being there as a comic book artist, how is it different than being there as, you know, just a helper, or, you know, uh, just being there in general as a guest?
Deanna and I both started out as volunteers. When I first moved out to Vegas in 2004, there weren't any comic book conventions. Um, and I had done toy shows every 6 months back in Pittsburgh for 3 or 4 years straight. So I was used to the convention scene. And to come out here and not have any was a little weird. So when they did start up, we decided that we were going to volunteer to help behind the scenes, see how things worked, maybe get to work with some of the guests. And the first 2 years of Amazing Las Vegas Comic Con, she and I got to work with George Perez. And he actually gave her a sketch of Zatanna for me at the end of that first year. And I have that framed.
Oh, wow.
It's awesome to see how things work from the volunteer side. It's a little bit better to see it from the management side, figuring how things work, how the gears turn, how different guests operate. You know, do we need to throw a bunch of money at one guest or promise them a bunch of money? How does that whole thing work? And I'd never been involved with that until 2 years ago for Unicon. Being a vendor, if you've got stuff on your table that sells, and a lot of my friends have that, it's an easy couple days. You work the whole convention, you know, you make your table money back, you make your room, food, whatever, travel. I see a lot of them stress over it, but most of them do make a living at it. I'm there more to network, to meet people. I mean, I've met so many professional comic book artists, amateur comic book artists. I have a lot of friends in the industry, and it's been a lot of fun to exhibit, even if I don't make my table money back.
That's understandable, and that's something that I actually learned working with Unicon the you know, the first 2 years. And last year when we had that, I had a bit more of an active role with the vendors, and that's when I told Sable that I you know, I caught the bug. You know, I actually enjoyed doing that work, and that's why we decided to, you know, do what we're doing now, to be able to help the artists and the small business owners to be able to get, you know, a further reach out there. And it's great to see you guys, you know, when we see a community building up on each other, and it's always nice to see. And that's why I wanted to ask on, you know, on your end. I know you've done, you know, you've volunteered in quite a few events. We're just starting. This was what, our third event that we helped with, and I told Sable this is something I don't mind doing, you know, consistently. Um, and you know, we know that uh, your wife, she's in a nonprofit as well, right?
Correct. She's part of the Las Vegas Avengers, and they do hospital visits and charity events.
Have you ever?
Most. Oh, go
Sorry,
ahead.
have you ever participated?
Um, Over the last couple of years, I've gone with them as a sketch artist.
Okay.
And if you can imagine 20, 30, 40 kids swarming the table looking for, a sketch of Spider-Man, whatever. It's pretty frantic when, everything goes down.
How well do you draw Spider-Man?
I've gotten a lot better since I started.
I mean, practice makes perfect, right?
Right. It didn't always look good.
But no, it's great to hear that. Out of all these nonprofit events that she's participated in and that you've helped with, I'll ask, what are the 3 most asked for drawings other than the Spider-Man?
Usually, if it's not Spidey, it'll be Deadpool, Hulk, surprisingly, or Black Panther, one of the 3.
Okay.
As far as women, I usually get Spider-Gwen, Black Widow. Let's see who else. Harley Quinn is the other one.
Very common, huh?
Yeah.
I'm not surprised that you included both of the spiders there.
Right.
Very well known character and very well loved and very you know it was a great thing that that Marvel came up with that, and it stayed strong, and it's crazy that that's another reason why I love doing these events, because I meet people like you and like other comic book artists that are trying to start up their own vision, their own image, and it's very it's very promising what I see for the future of comic books. Um, Lastly, you had brought up well, when we were talking, something about the Cthulhu. Sorry, I'm gonna mess this up. I know this.
No, you're
The,
fine.
the Cthulhu mashups. Is that correct?
Right. Yep. We have a very good friend of ours who is huge into the Cthulhu mythos. And every year for her birthday, for the last 8 years or so, I've drawn a combination of Cthulhu and one of her favorite characters. So, very first year, I drew a mashup of Cthulhu and Sherlock Holmes, called it Cthulhu Holmes, and gave that to her for her birthday, and she loved it. Some of the others that I've drawn were Cthulhu for Maleficent. Some of the, I'm not even going to try to pronounce it, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. The Grinch, Grogu. I mean, it's just been almost nonstop. And this past year, somebody had given me the idea to draw Wayne Static from Static X. So that was the most recent Cthulhu produced, and people seem to get a real kick out of those.
Oh wow. Now, out of curiosity, when you do these kind of drawings, are you still old school pencil and paper, pen and paper, or have you started dabbling a little bit into the digital media?
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm low tech as they come. My daughter Cade is extremely talented when it comes to the iPad and Procreate. She produces some amazing work. I haven't gotten there yet, but they did give me a I'm going to mispronounce it, Hawaiian tablet for Christmas a few years ago, and that's what allowed me to color in my first issue and all subsequent issues.
So now it's just about putting yourself out of the comfort zone and just screw it, I'm gonna try it out, huh?
Yep, that's it.
I think that's what that's what I kind of, I told Sable, hey, you're gonna have to beef up a little bit of your Procreate, because that's what she uses for a lot of her drawings, and she enjoys drawing on her time off, and as soon as you said that your daughter uses Procreate, I'm like, I know exactly what she's talking about. Because for me, I'm sticking to my stick drawings and maybe some animals. I'll let her do with all the fine art.
Right.
Have you ever has she ever shown any interest in drawing for you, any of your comic art?
No, she leans more towards the anime and manga side of things. And most recently, she's gotten heavy into voice acting. So away from the drawing, not completely, but more concentrated on voice acting. And she's also a very talented seamstress. So she's got a wide variety of interests and manages to juggle them without dropping anything.
Well, it's a family full of artists, isn't it?
Right?
Well, um, other than that, is there anything that you would want to say to the public as to, any public advice for those who want to do this for a living or want to pick up a pencil one day and start their own comic series?
Well, I'll tell you what, I can tell anybody that asks if it was easy, it's not. It's very time consuming. You can get into a rhythm and figure out a faster way to do things no matter what you're doing. But there has never been a better time than right now to publish your own work. Indie comic books have performed steadily even while Marvel and DC have struggled. Some of my friends doing Kickstarters, like Tom Hutchison with Big Dog Inc., they can do $20,000 or $30,000 in their crowdfunding without breaking a sweat.
Wow.
Yeah. Me and my local buddies, we might break 1,000, if that.
Well, it also
But
depends on the social media, your social media footprint as well, isn't it?
yeah, absolutely. And I have the social media imprint of the Coquille,
I don't
which
know,
for
man.
people who don't know is a Puerto Rican tree frog.
I've never heard of that. I'm pretty sure that one of my employees, he's from Puerto Rico, so I'm pretty sure that he'd be able to explain it to me in greater detail. But no, it was great to see you again. Great to talk to you. And as always, Sable and I, we're always available to help you guys out whenever you guys need it. Hopefully we get to see you guys in the next event. We're trying to participate more often on these kind of things. And the Silver State events, that's something that I'm an active role on as well for this upcoming one. So once the news comes up with that, you guys will know as well if you guys are up for the task again, for the challenge.
Hey, we're on.
Well, we'll call that as a day since we've gotten our 30-minute mark. Once again, this is Patrick Robinson from New Wave Comics. Check out Terran Command. Wow. See, even I can't say it.
You can do it.
Check out Terran Command.
Garrison. There you go.
Check out Terran Command Garrison on his Facebook, and I'll put that on the description below for you guys. Thank you very much for talking to us, and we appreciate your time as always.
I appreciate you. Thanks for having me.
All right.
For future upcoming events, we talked a little bit about last week about something called As They Grow. And I've realized running into moms in the baby section, I'll let them know if it's coming up soon, if they know about this event. And it's surprisingly, not a lot of people really actually know about this event, which kind of shocks me a little bit. Anytime I've run into someone, they're like, oh, I've never heard of that. It's called As They Grow. It is a consignment store that actually has a lot of kind of strict rules on what you can go in and sell. They don't allow like stains on the shirts or anything like that. So that's kind of really nice. So you're able to not pay top dollar for your kids' clothes that they grow out of within a week. So it's actually kind of a really nice thing. It's actually going to be happening at South Racetrack this time around. Pre-sales are actually the 19th through the 20th. The actual open to the public is through the 21st through the 23rd. Okay. So going back to what we had stated last episode, depending on the days that you want to do, it does depending on the price. If you want the pre-sale, you're obviously going to be paying a little bit more because not a lot of people are going to want to go into the pre-sale, but that also means you get first pick as well. So that's kind of nice. I remember last time when we went, all the good things that I had originally wanted, like a wagon stroller, they were gone instantly because everyone who got into the pre-sale ended up getting it. So if there is something on the top dollar end that you do want, try your best to try to do the pre-sale. I really do encourage that. If you're not just wanting baby clothes or you're just kind of wanting to look around to see what they do have everything from adult clothes to kitchen gadgets to kitchen utensils to household items as well. So it's not just specifically about kids. They do have a lot more kids, but it's not specifically just for kids. So I do encourage everyone to try and check them out. Summer is right around the corner. Every kid is going to need some summer clothes here soon. Probably shorter than normal because we are in Vegas and it does get hot. So,
yeah, just to give my opinion on that as well. I like the fact that it's not, brand spanking new price for this product. But at the same time, you get that peace of mind that you have at least quality products and at least it's been tested or, at least it's been cleaned.
yeah.
To make sure that the toys work, that they're not broken or chipping, that the stroller's not broken or stained permanently. So it's great to get that peace of mind going to these kind of events. And I really liked the last one that we went to. I think we might go again just to find a wagon stroller. Hopefully this time we'll be able to find one, but we never know.
All right. With that said, please feel free to drop down any questions or stuff that you would like us to talk about in future videos. Please also try to like, share, and subscribe to us. It really helps. With that said, thank you guys and have a good night. Bye.
Have a good night.